Oh, but we see the decks coming down, and the ban of Kachina immediately hit. But he didn't even bring his own Kachina. He's on a new level. Oh, he gets his Bennett ban instead.
He's cooking. He's cooking so hard.
He is cooking. Oh my god, the cook-off let it begin. And we see Yunjin on one side, and we see Yoimiya as well. 2 combo decks into a Pep and Siruin Fremine. Oh my god. Well, we will see Yunjin come out immediately, being ready like, okay, listen, buddy. Listen, Bob, you have that Hutao over there? I'm going to fight that Hutao with the strength of million flags. I'm going to get so much damage and so many attacks, you're not going to be ready, son. And let's see what Chamberlain responds with. Oh my god, he's like, I'm going to heal. I'm going to get my Fontaine Res, and I'm going to heal with my Siege Wind, and you're going to get frozen. And you're not ready to be shattered. How are you going to attack me if I just freeze you? Oh my lord.
Right, these are some very, very powerful and quite out there decks out here, so we'll be introducing these decks in full. Right, Yunjin, Primordial Jade Wing Spear. It is, as the name suggests, a deck focused on Yunjin equipping the Primordial Jade Wing Spear, using her Flying Cloud Flag formation and using her Yunjin talent to dish out powerful 7-0 damage attacks all over the place. And to support that, there's Gladiators, there's Minty Meat Rolls, there's a lot of cards that focus on doing normal attacks and reducing the dice cost for one single turn where Yunjin will go absolutely wild.
Exactly. And of course, the other characters are not to be understated. The Lava Shoulder and the Seahorse drawing us 1 card. But up against it, we have, oh my god, we are going to produce so much stuff. You see how much randomness is in the deck. Series there. Taromaru's there. What's the painter magazine called?
That's Serene, his wife, if you remember.
Wait, which one is... What's the name of the other one then? What's the one?
That's Mimir, the painter's Mimir.
The painter's Mimir. There we go. I remember it. Oh, and we're jumping straight in?
Nope.
No, we're not. No, we're not. Yeah. So as you saw there, the board got eaten up by the void. Nothing we can do, just happens sometimes. We will have to get it back in a minute. But in the meantime, we can see here that it's going to be interesting. We saw Fremini talent, we saw some interesting setup. So let's see. We are starting exactly on the Seahorse itself for that +1 draw, but our amp is not looking great. In the meantime, our opponent is about to click so many companions and do so much stuff that we are just not ready for it. Let's see what happens here. Dune, Taromaru, let's go.
You're right. Dune Serene, Dune Taromaru, and Dune draws another Serene. So the thing about Chamberlain's deck is that it focuses on Ultimate Overlord's Mecha Magic Sword, which means you really want to play a lot of cards that are not from your deck. And the cards that support that are from Taromaru and Serene and etc.
Exactly, you can just see how much it is. But oh my god, look at the opposing side. That is so unfortunate, no ramp. We have drawn 5 cards and we got no way to float more than 2 dice. Oh, no spears, no anything. Oof, this is going to be rough. Putting gamblers on too early means you lose out the extra dice on everything else. You also lose your value on the board. Oh no, how do you actually deal with this?
And this is very, very good news for Chamberlain because Ultimate Overlord's Mecha Magic Sword takes time to charge, and when Yunjin's just looming around the corner, you really do not get the time to charge.
So we might just see a swap to Yunjin, but then you lose... Oh, wait? What are we seeing? Oh, we're gonna see an attack come down, I'm pretty sure.
Yep, it's probably gonna be get the Spellfish, eat it, and get another attack of the
and then the second... Oh my god, the next ramp cut was right on top. That is so unfortunate. If we just drew 1 more card, then we just had 1 way to get 2 more dice, we would have saved up so much. That is so bad, but that's okay, because we're going to still push into this matchup with our best efforts. Now, Serene did give us a card that gave us both Cryo-Res and Fontaine Res, and now we get some less than stellar weapons. which is a
Yep.
shame. But we always do have a second Serene because the second effect of Tarumaru is not as relevant. We got our treasures shuffled in, and we are just waiting to see exactly how we play it. This deck does rely on a lot of just action cards being slammed and jammed and not doing much actions yourself, just waiting on it.
Yeah, so the Taromaru will create some Taromaru savings and place it into the deck, and when a certain amount of savings is played, it will become a summon. But instead, Chamberlain can safely discard it because that second effect is not needed in this deck.
Exactly. Now we see another one of Serene's abilities come down, and we're going to be playing cards, which is going to draw us cards or discard cards. We get another saving, tossing the book we didn't need anyway. Now
Yep.
let's see how this comes down, because fun fact, we do have that extreme in hand.
Yes, but the thing about this is that the lingering effect of the Millicene makes it so that you may discard a random card, or you may draw a random card from your deck, and that discard can be rather devastating, like what we just saw with the Freminate talent being discarded.
You gotta count it. You gotta get your best cards in. For example, if you lose this Mega Sword, it might be actually pretty rough. So the question is, do you immediately equip it and then maybe lose tea time? Which one are you more okay with losing? Because you never know with this card. It gives you so much draw, but it can also take so much of your hand away. Oh, wait.
Extreme.
Instant
Immediately.
extreme. Wow, we don't even care. Yeah, get your hand clogged, buddy. Not our
Oh.
problem at all.
Yeah,
You get
those
one
cards are.
gladiators and that's it.
Yup, that gladiator, and then nothing else. That's a lot of bricks on Pahaya Tofu's hand.
Yeah, and Yunjin wanting to have not many cards in hand is going to make this actually pretty rough. We're halfway through our setup anyway as Chamberlain. We are missing the sword, but if we find one, it's not like the sword counts it from the moment it's played. Sword counts it immediately from the start, so we're going to have a lot of stacks regardless. And yeah, we're just going to lower our opponent's damage as much as we can and just sit here.
Right. Anyway, Chamberlain will continue with a strategize, discarding more princess. That is probably fine. And place
it's not even
Taromaru
yours.
savings.
Oh, but we can
That's
also
more-
see Sync come down right here because there's no good reason not to play it. Oh,
Sleepy Meditation obtains the. Which one was that again? The Selectosaurus.
that's the owl guy. Yep, that's his official name. If you look closely, that's what it says.
Yeah, there's the Yongasaurus, then there's the Selectosaurus.
Exactly. And now we might just see. Oh, we will see the technique come down. Goodbye, gamblers. What a shame, but we do get Signs of Canopy to give us some more dice, which does make some nice setup here. Now, question is, how do we get as much value as we can? It's funny that we got Rhythm from our opponent. We're really not complaining about it. Yeah, we see it coming up.
We're playing all of these cards from our opponent's hand, which are, of course, all rather high quality cards.
Exactly, and at the same time, they're cards that did not begin the game in our deck, meaning that we do just keep stacking really easily, and we do just keep going. Oh, we even get this one down. Oh my, that gives us Signs of Canopy once again.
And ditches the Covenant Flock because we can no longer play it.
Yeah, exactly. But we will do a Seizing skill, we will get some healing going, and if Seizing dies, it's healing for somebody else. But we clogged up our opponent's hand quite a bit right now. I don't think they're going to play any of this. Their actual main out is just the Serene, giving them some cards to play with, but we shall see.
Yeah, or they can try to make it so that Serene will discard all of their cards in their hand. But the problem with that is that this is entirely random.
Yeah, exactly. You might draw, you might lose, you might not get anything, and you have 9 dice to work with. Your setup was not amazing, but you get another top deck. It is Gamblers. The problem is how
not a very good gamblers considering all your characters are equipped with artifacts.
exactly, and also considering how built this siege win is to survive this round, it might not help you in the moment. We might see only like an attack or two, and then swapping back, and then trying to get some dice saved by Vanna and moving towards next round. Because honestly, you do need your Jade Wing Spear to deal with this.
Yeah, Yunjin without Jadewing Spear is kinda rough. And
Exactly.
whoop, plays the Mimir, discards the Sing Your Heart out. It's
Oh,
fine
I guess we
because
never needed it.
yeah, we never needed it. Trust.
Some more defensive food. And then top decking, oh my god, those are quite nice, I'm not gonna lie. The thing is, you know your opponent, if you're playing Yunjin or if you're Papaya Tofu, you know your opponent only has one Mega Sword in their deck left. So you might actually try to slow it down just a little bit and see how you can work it out
Yeah.
to buy your time. Now, what does he actually get if he plays Tea Time here? He has two characters that are of the same faction, he has two characters of the same element. So he actually would get two cards. It's probably not worth it for him, but
He gets 3 cards because both Sichuin and Ganyu are bows.
no. I mean, if Papaya Tofu got handed one
Oh,
by
Papaya.
his opponent, yeah.
Yep.
He actually does get two, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, that's fair.
So it's not the worst thing in the world.
Yeah, it's not the worst, but it's also not really that good.
Yeah, it's
MIT
not as
time.
nice.
MIT time outside of the designated deck just isn't good in general.
Yeah, it's just not that great. I mean, 2 cards for 2 dice is not amazing. The Seahorse will take the damage from the bubble, but not that he minds. He might not be aware of this, but he is not the star of this deck, unfortunately.
Yeah. Yep. In the end, all that matters is the Yunjin, and sometimes you just have to do everything to let it happen.
Exactly, but still nothing useful. And our opponent is about to go off with more extra cards. Wagner! Oh my god. We don't play enough weapons for Wagner to tutor the Mega Sword, but wow. That would be neat.
Right, and anyway, there's another random effect that's appeared on the field, and that's the HP 50-50 effect.
Ooh, exactly.
No. That's not the 50 effect. Sorry, it has the same stacks. It's actually the one that at the end of your turn, at the end of the round, I mean, you will get one random resonance, whether that be elemental or faction.
Right, yeah, for the next 3 rounds. I see, that's why it's on 3. You're right. Oh, we see the Seahorse Burst come down, and these attacks are just not the attacks you want to be spending dice on, but also, where is your setup? What do? You are so clouded with these random cards that you don't want to play and don't want to think about. It's just really rough. And your opponent is slow enough that it makes you think that maybe you can just sit down and stall it up a bit longer, and you might be able to. We shall see how it goes. But Searing Burst coming down, huh?
Oh, that's another button you do not see pressed every day.
Yeah, we're watching 2 decks play with a character that they usually don't really care about that much and just fight each other. Now, Seahorse does do more damage than she does, but yeah.
Yeah, that's probably fine. And besides, Sichuin's alt button does actually have its uses, but I do not think that all was it. I personally would have gone with maybe Ganyu or something, but Chamberlain's Chamberlain, and Chamberlain cooks best.
Headed to Ganyu doing some stuff, but then you freeze the Seahorse really early and you kind of lose the aura. You could do a skill to try to like get Hydro auras on characters later, but the problem with that is that your opponent is not moving off of the Seahorse until they have to, because they want more cards the same way you do. You have dug through so much of your deck, but you have lost one of your swords and you need to find the second one. And they need to find one of their spears, so we're just sitting here and having a bit of a staring competition. Now, unfortunately, no gamblers on Seahorse, no way for him to take any advantage by killing the Sijuin, so we will probably just slowly move towards setup.
Yep, as you can see here, Chamberlain has decided to move towards the Femine to decide, just maybe start backing for one.
Yeah, and exactly. And the TOTM here set up to get some damage going. Now, that is only if our opponent NAs, because remember, Yunjin is a prepare skill, so we are going to sit here and give priority to our opponent who needs to do something. Now, they're not super scared because we have 3 dice, and most of the cards in our hand is what's been given to us, so not much we can do on it. But we're about to see exactly what's about to come down here. Because it is still damage. You will take the Yunjin hit and the Seahorse hit, so, that's rough.
Yep, but that's only like 2 damage to HP, but so that's not really that much in my opinion.
Exactly. So you might just be totally fine with it. And since you're not afraid of anything, you can set it up so your Fremini gets a freeze on the Seahorse following around, forcing your opponent to go in. Oh, they don't even do it.
Yep,
Okay.
decides to instead go into Seahorse, maybe try to fish for that in-phase draw.
Probably. We get to discover another card. All interesting one. We get the Saurian Crackers indeed, and now we gotta figure it out.
Yeah,
Now,
the
Pat's getting a
Saurus.
card.
Select Saurus giving Saurus Crackers being played gives back 1 dice by mouse effect, and then pays 0 dice for Select Saurus as second use, and now Select Saurus is gone.
Exactly. Oh, an extra die and a TOTM on Ganyu as well. So we're going to be playing a very slow type of game. With our opponent going first, we get to store 1 die in here as well. Quite nice. And we get Dendro Res. Oh, but they drew the spear.
Oh. That's annoying.
Yeah, now
So
they have the
now-
spear. Now they're ready.
Yep, now Yunjin's online. Probably.
Now Yunjin is slowly going to start moving towards it. They do have the 10 dice for it as well. And you don't have your sword because we did lose one before. So we do have to find it to be able to match her.
Right, and they placing your heart out for some withdrawals, trying to fish what they need, and they get 2
Ooh.
Vanessas and a Woven. That is exactly what they needed.
3 extra dice for free. Thank you very much. We will take those. And
Yep.
now you just gotta figure out exactly how this works because you want to play both Vanessas, but you do also want to play the Jade Spear. And you do need to do a skill to do it, so... Oh, second Vanessa coming down. The dice she gives... No Omnis.
Vanessa doesn't give Omnis, but the fact
No,
that
no,
there's...
no. Yeah.
The fact that there's Geo is kind of harsh.
We might see this come down to give us that Omni. Because we have none, these 2 cryo dice don't do it. Maybe we were supposed to tune 1 more earlier. But that's probably fine. We're gonna play the artifact, get it, and now we have the dice for the spear, and we can move over to Yunjin and get some attacks going in. The swap is free, so 3 actions are also very much an option. Oh, not even. We had 2 Lava Troll, possibly to stall our opponent out just for a little bit, because we will probably just straight head to Yunjin and do as much as we can.
We want to set up on that Yunjin, so you want to stall as much as possible. And
oh my god.
Chamberlain decides to spy on the top 3 cards of the deck and saw Golden True, but not a Jade Spear, and Yunjin silent.
Exactly. All the cards they wanted to get as well. But now your opponent is literally playing with their hands open. So you do know that exactly there's nothing else, and you just gotta calculate how much they can and can't do right here. Looking at Papaya's dice, you do know that he cannot burst if he uses a skill here, and you do want to use skill because of Jade Spear. So we shall see how that goes.
Yeah. Well, for now, Chamberlain will just need to figure out what to do with Fremini's skill. After all, Fremini kinda needs his skill to do anything significant.
Exactly, and we have a lot of cards to pick and choose from exactly what we want to do and how we want to do it. Unfortunately, another extreme might not be the answer here, which is always a shame, but we do have a lot of stuff to pick and choose from and ways to be inside this round and just try to deal with this Yunjin before we get our own sword so we can threaten the opponent.
Give me a bit. I do not actually remember what number of stacks that Mega Magic Sword is at, but if you're already at 8 or close to 8, you can play all the cards in your hand and then swap all the cards in your hand to the opponent with Extreme.
It should be at least 6. I'm quite confident.
Yeah.
But yeah, I also have not been paying full on attention to it. The perks of just casting and not having to be the guy who plays. Quite nice, I will say. But now, yeah, the crab comes down. We get that extra HP on everyone, so we're just gonna swap around a bit.
Yep.
And
Trying to not get that damage onto Fremine too much and make full use of our Buttercrab.
exactly. And you can see the lava troll skill being extremely cheap because of golden troop that was on him. So we still do have 9 dice to go in here.
Yep. Here probably comes a Ganyu skill to get even more barriers and try to reduce damage as much as possible from our erstwhile foe Yunjin.
Exactly. Beep beep, shields incoming. Break through this, buddy. See what happens.
Either that or a usage of the Petlisaurus, which will draw you cards and give you shields as well. So that's another defensive option.
Yep, and with 5 dice, because we're gonna get one from our TOTM, we can definitely do that.
Or just maybe... I'm not sure, but what I do know is that Chamberlain still needs to dig for that one Mega Magic Sword left in his deck.
Exactly, it's a bit rough, and you don't have exactly great card draw. You have a lot of things that add cards to your hand or deck, but actually digging out what you need might be a little bit rougher than it seems. And without the sword, we really can't fight them too much. Oh, we might be accepting here that Yunjin might skill, so we have to go back to Ganyu and then we can use our skill?
No, swapping back to Ganyu, then you have only 2 dice, so your only move is Tevelisaurus.
If they skill, you get 1 dice from TOTM, that's why.
Oh, right.
So depending on what they do here, you could get an extra die back. Or if they normal attack, you do get that full value of a Buttercrab as well, so that's quite nice.
Either way, you do get full value of the Buttercrab, or at least 2/3 value, which is already really nice when you're considering Buttercrab.
Exactly, you're just trying to defend here and stall out until you see your own weapon, and then you can match her. Yeah, skill coming down, we're probably gonna see a swap. Right back, exactly, getting the max value out of everything. And then you will always catch priority here, so the only question is how do you want to go about it? We will see the technique.
Tepetlisaurus, big bubble goes to the makes a medium bubble goes to the opposing side. So that's one less card they'll get to see of that 3 cards on top. Remember the Yunjin talent? There's the Jade Spear and then there's the Golden Troop.
Exactly. And Yunjin talent is probably the one you really want to see the most. But they will also top deck 3 cards because they will probably end the round on Seahorse. Now the question is, are you going back Sijuin for that max value, or are you just going to pass right here?
I think you could also play Signs of the Canopy and start counting again. Nope, never mind.
Slowly but surely. Oh, 5 damage onto Ganyu, holy. Big numbers coming down. 1 dice saved by Vanna, and we are very likely... Oh no, I'm pretty sure that the talent was the last card to pop up, so we might actually lose it due to the bubble here and not top deck it ourselves. Yeah! Talent is the one card we don't get. Oh, the Sijuin bubble.
Yup, that Sijuin bubble came about at just the right time. So now Yunjin's talent is delayed by 1 round.
My oh my, and the talent is really strong, and it requires you to not have that many cards in hand, but we already didn't, so unless we were gonna get extremed again, it would have been quite nice. Now, let's see how this plays out, because we still don't have the Mega Sword on the Fremine side.
Yeah. Like, I guess you could play Sumeru Resonance.
Yeah, you
Right.
always could. It would actually be a lot. But we go soup instead. Let's see what it gives us.
The soup
Extra
gives,
defensive stats.
yeah,
Does
draws.
this insta pop? No, you can just toss it back. I see.
Yep.
Yep, we don't want the season bubble. Oh, and we found the sword.
Draws it
Okay,
back.
now we're on. Now it's so on.
Yep.
Sunyata
And-
popping one of the Vanas.
Oh, Grand Narukami Shrine.
Grand Shrine to cycle dice. Yep. And that gives
Yep.
us a die of a Science of Canopy.
And now you pop another Vana. For
Ooh. Damn, if the order was different. Oh my god. If we got that
Yeah.
tubby.
if
that's
the
okay.
order was different, that would be really, really mad.
Yeah, that would have been absolutely insane. But as it is right now, if we do go down to 0, we do have Gandharvaville, so we'll see how that works out. But for the time being, we're ready for our opponent to go in, and we do have our own sword to answer with, so let's see how this actually plays out right now.
Yep. Citrine with that mini Days of Resistance on her. And Femine having 9 stacks of the draw counter on him. You only really
Yeah.
need 4 for the full buff, but having 9 is still really funny.
Yeah, having way too much is always funny, and we're about to see if it actually works out, if it's enough. I assume we're going to be swap stalling this Yunjin and then trying to go in with Fremine ourselves and seeing how that works. Or maybe we will see the Sijuin burst trying to apply some Hydro so we can freeze. I'm quite interested actually.
Yeah, I think in this case you would maybe probably see the Citrine Elemental Burst coming out again. Yep, there you go. You really want that Hydro Aura applied on Yunjin because now your Ganyu can appear and freeze her in the middle of her combo turn.
Exactly, and your Fremine can also shatter, like it's a lot of damage coming down. Whichever way
Yep.
it's spun. Oof. This is going to be rough.
Yeah, and even if you go to Lava Show here, nope. Instead, Yunjin's Elemental Burst to shut down the Citrine before she can do more damage than she should.
Exactly. Getting rid of her, getting some of that value down, but now the response is the sword. Oh my god, the damage.
And
The
Citrine-
insta-kill.
Oh, the Citrine sacrifice into Femine insta-kill!
Yeah, exactly. I'm quite confident we have max stacks right now. You just saw that damage. You saw it all come down. We still have a support card to play if we want cheaper, granted by Sunyata. But now the Lava Troll has to answer, and he is powered up, but Fremine is going, and he might not be stopping.
Yep. And extra dice from the Tenacity of the Millilist, so now there's exact dice for Elemental Burst.
Exactly. We can burst, we can get Darwaville, we can use one of our Taramaru's servings. We can do a lot of stuff here, getting some extra dice and getting it going. We're about to see exactly what the play is for most damage.
Indeed. And I think we'll have to also see what that Melusine support on the field is doing, because that could make or break games. And
That is true. We might definitely see it do something absolutely insane or useless, but the burst is coming down, getting his gear on. Woof!
oh,
Leaving him on
7.
1.
Oh my
Holy, the
God.
Fatui do not mess around. They
Yeah,
are ready
that-
to go.
that is terrifying. Heals up the Femine for 1 HP. And
Exactly, getting the one setup going. Just so
And
you're
I
kind of out of the range.
Yeah, and I believe that's all she wrote.
Yeah, seems like it. Tabi will come down. Gandharva will give us another die, which we can
Yep.
spend on strategize.
And make it extreme.
And we always get extreme. Well, yeah, Yunjin talent is not super relevant after she's dead, and we know that's on top of our opponent's deck, so
Yep,
we are just
so
waiting for it
that
to
will
come
be
down.
another brick and one more card that will decide the game.
Exactly. And from this spot, it is looking quite nice if you're Chamberlain. You do take only 2 damage here coming from the Lava Troll, and they pass.
Yep.
Looking
Ooh,
quite
Idle Rest!
Oh
Yep,
my
Oh
god.
my. And Papaya Tofu draws Minty Meat Roll, so that's not helping.
I mean, honestly, as far as draws goes, it's probably the best one, but as far as draws goes, what's gonna get you out of this? You're gonna get frozen. Your opponent is starting first. Even if you take out this Fremene, Ganyu can just do it by herself. Oh, Tenshukaku.
RMIT time
Ooh.
for Tenchukaku, NRE, and let's... those are not good fruits, but you still get the Battle Crab.
Yeah, you're still kind of fine with it. It's like a bit whatever. I guess we didn't want anything else besides Tenshukaku, but like realistically, this kind of whiffed because we're not doing anything with most of these. But we do get some healing going, we do get some setup going, and we're just gonna do a nice little friendly bop onto the Lava Troll. And now it's looking rough. Seahorse will retaliate, but
that's just gonna fuel the tenacity of the Millilist, and now there's exactly 3 dice. Well, you only need 2, but still, that's 6 damage, and Papaya Tofu is down!
Oh my god, the Fremene clears it out. Holy, the setup. Once the sword gets going, it's so insane.
I have not seen a Melusine that productive ever since Serene got released.
They just did so much work, and then the sword was like, yep, I'm about to do 10 damage with 1 skill. Any complaints? No? Okay, all good.
All good.